Again, if she wasn't introduced the way that she was introduced, I think she's actually fucking adorable. As a character, anyway. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we're back with another episode of Dandadan. We come back with notes, and we come back with a board, so of course, let's go ahead and start off with the board. And with the board comes the board changelog, where I have added Ayase's classmate that was trying to get into the gossip. I added Arya and connected her with a white line to Ken and a red line to Ayase. And then I added Turbo Granny and connected her to Ken, Ayase, and Granny with a white line. Obviously, it kind of feels like it should be more of a red line, but, they've negotiated things. There's the aspect here that I've talked at length before in other recordings that I think I need, more of a spectrum of colors for the lines. Because white pulls a lot of weight on the board, which is to say white is unknown or complicated or things like that. And, being antagonistic but frenemy or, there's a reason why on a bunch of these lines we do arrows. Like your blue line because you're related, but it's a red line because your brother hates you. Things like that. Where it feels like I need some sort of rainbow line assortment that I can combine things. Anyway, I got notes. I like that they included some girl walking down the street saying hi in the camera's direction when Ken is deciding that Ayase is waiting for someone else, to really push the social awkwardness of assuming someone is addressing you and responding to it in a group of other people. You never, it's the sort of slice of life humor, right? Where you see somebody who's looking at somebody from across the room, and then they look back at them, and they're like, "Ah, hey!" And then that person's so excited that that person's noticed them, like, "Hey, back!" And that person goes walking across, and they walk right past that person to someone behind them, who that they were waving at was waving back at them, and you feel so fucking stupid. And now you've kind of made a spectacle of yourself because everyone else that's been watching this situation knows how stupid you fucking were. You don't want to be that person. You just don't want to be that person. I really enjoyed the mundanity of the episode. That not everything has to be about the supernatural or combat. That the characters are interesting enough to support the show, just following them and their relationship. Having the characters be this interesting makes anything they do enjoyable to watch. Having them go through the slice of life school time just adds to the juxtaposition of the supernatural stuff that they experience together. I can only hope that their dynamic will continue to evolve, as the only problem I could foresee is if they try to keep pulling the awkwardness gag without ever trying to make forwards progress, which is an all too common trope in anime. It seems like they are bringing in more side characters to interact with the dynamic, but I also want to see the dynamic itself change over time. It sounds like Ken is boasting for no reason when he says that he's been working out some, but conceivably the last few days have been quite a workout for him. Plus, Granny told him to work out to gain some endurance for his transformations, so it's possible he has been working out. I don't really know how to deal with Arya's little play she does on Ken. On one hand, she's talking crap about him to her friends, about how he's a dork, never touched a girl before, be dreaming about him till he's an old man. On the other hand, she recognizes that she went out of her way to make some guy feel happy. She made his day, in her words. Just because she did it for bad reasons, does that change the fact that she did something that made someone feel better? I mean, she even waits to say all of that after she's out of earshot of Ken, leaving him feeling good without hurting his feelings to his face. I feel would be the thing most narratives would do with a character like this. She doesn't even imply that she's planning to use that for anything, like getting him to do her homework or spend money on her. I don't know, maybe I'm just trying to look for the good here, or if it's my own social awkwardness showing. And my last note here, I feel like Ayase really should have been able to see Turbo Granny hiding inside of Ken still. That red ball of mist that was she was interacting with before must have been that, and we've seen that before, that there's nothing else inside of a normal person. So I don't know where Turbo Granny could really have been hiding. It would just be Ken's blue outline and then the red of Turbo Granny. Alright, well, I mean, those are all of my notes from last episode. Not really a lot to go over there. It's really the emotionality, and I said before, I have a hard time putting to words the emotionality of the stuff that I see on the screen, so really you only get that from the reaction, not from the notes. But that said, I think there's nothing left to do here but hop on in and see what we get.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
I was about to say that was the type of ball that we saw for the next time on. Implying that that girl that bumped into you stole your balls. Alright, well that sets up a lot of storyline for later. Oh yeah, I would assume Ayase could see that stuff. I mean, if you never find the balls, then you're gonna be putting up with it forever. Again, Ayase can see through walls and shit and see, like, power in objects. The same way that she found Turbo Granny hiding in, like, the bathroom area. Oh, this bullshit. Is that the guy who hit him with the volleyball? Oh, isn't that fucking adorable? Oh man, kick this guy's ass. I don't kick him in the ass, knee him in the balls. Yes. I love this. Because I also like the implication that we know that this happens when he's angry. So we know that this is true anger. Oh, this is literally Bleach. That's Khan in the backpack.
学校なんて何百年ぶりだぜ。綺麗になっちまって。
なんでこんなとこにいんだよ。そもそも綾瀬さんって隔離されてんじゃないのかよ。
聖子のやつが猫は自由にしてろだったよ。どうせ何もできねえからってよ。
I mean,
あの人。
それよりも大変じゃねえか。その力、お前さんには荷が重すぎるよな。わしをもう一度お前の中に入れておくれ。
I guess the implication is that Granny can't leave. I mean, Turbo Granny can't leave the cat body.
やり方は簡単だぜ。
ふざけるな。弾を返してもらうのが先だろ。そんな口車に乗せられるかよ。
Also, getting caught yelling at a cat doll at school. Not gonna be great.
それが今この中に
黙れ。
ポポポ。
綾瀬さんって超可愛いじゃん。
かわいい。何それ。
なんで距離取ってんだよ。
いや、その違うんです。
I also don't understand how characters in anime just can't hear people whispering shit right in front of them.
てか止まれよ。何逃げてんだよ。
おしぼれ。違うんですって。
久々にキャンパスライフ注文を堪能するか一緒だ。
I mean, at the very least, Turbo Granny wandering around really has no effect on them.
なんかめっちゃ避けられてんだけど、マジ腹立つ。あと彼氏じゃねえ
It's not like somebody's Stitch belongs to Ken, whatever, on the back of it.
何言ってんの。C 組のやつに聞いたの。あ、わかる。モモの悪口言われて男子と揉めたんだってさ。何それ。なんか
Oh, good. It is. It is.
やつがいるらしいよ。あんたの。それで怒ったんだってさ。じゃあなんで避けてんのさ。私って美少女すぎる。
I was literally hoping to myself, oh, I hope this gets back to her, because it'd be like, oh, that's a nice thing you did for me. Then I was like, nah. Nobody these days wants to get white knighted, but I'm still kind of happy that it happened.
優しさも兼ね備えた美少女。でもこんなパーフェクトな私にも怒りプンプンなことがあって、あのクソ女を陥れるためにビッチ疑惑を流して、
Wow, you're the asshole.
噂があんま広がってなくてプンプン。みんな何も分かってない。あの女は悪魔だってこと。
To be fair, she just did use,
はっきり見たの。あの女に悪魔の翼が生えているの。
that's pretty funny.
綾瀬モモ、あいつは
But you also have supernatural powers, apparently.
悪魔だ。でも私が突然あんなものを見えるようになったってことは、私は選ばれた存在ってことなのね。なんとなく分かってた。私、
Okay, so it's not going to be her finding the balls
その証拠
that
に
gives her
こんなもの
powers.
が空から降ってきたし、金の玉。
Never mind.
邪悪な悪魔からこの世界を救えってことなのね。分かった。やるわ。なぜなら私は美少女なんだもの。
Mahou Shoujo, right? I was going to say, oh, it seems like she has these magical powers already herself. Maybe they got awakened by the thing hitting her in the head. I don't know. But at least it doesn't imply that she just found one of his balls and that gave her power. And then, oh, that's when her hand goes into the dress. It's like, oh, I got this ball. So, yeah, I guess maybe that is the thing. I was kind of hoping that it was going to do the thing what I was talking about before at the very beginning, which is to say that she has this sight, the same sight that we've seen Ayase has, and she just saw the ball that way, and then I was going to be like, oh, well, then if she saw it that way, why didn't Ayase see it that way? Well, you know, turns out that's not the case anyway. Again, I really like the relationship building that's happening here, because we're not just like sitting on it. The whole she's not going to get told because he's essentially white knighting her and she's strong enough not to need him to come to her rescue occurred to me. But it also occurs to me that if that's the way that they were going to play it, then their relationship dynamic would never move because she wouldn't find that out, and then, the relationship wouldn't change from there. But having her find out and then addressing to him what that means to them, it does something, is all I'm saying.
あいった腹立つ。何これ。ビー玉。
Also, it's pretty funny to see a giant hand as a wing.
あれ。お。
Is that going to be that dynamic? Two people find his balls, and then he won't give it back because they give him powers? At the same time, as Granny said, that puts them in danger. Because other spirits are going to be trying to get that.
例のものを持ってきたよ。借り物だから気をつけて。
ようやく装備が揃ったようね。
Okay, that's not where I thought you were going with this.
なんか油臭くない？このロザリオちゃんと本物？そんなのわかんないよ。
I thought she was going to try and pierce the ball and wear it.
当たり前でしょ。私は選ばれたんだから。美少女すぎるがゆえに。世界を救わなきゃいけないの。
友達だから信じるけどさ、アイラ最近変だよ。今やろうとしてることだってやっぱおかしいっていうか。
I think it's fucking hilarious. I'm completely on board.
赤いワンピースの女がいる。
は？ごめん、うちらには全然見えないわ。
Okay, this is also from the next time on.
綾瀬桃は私たちの行動を監視しているんだわ。二人とも姿勢を低くして。奴の使い魔に見つかっちゃう。
白鳥さん何してんの？
キャー、ちょっと暑くて壁の冷たさ感じてたっていうか。
白鳥さんって天然だね。
もうそんなことないよ。でも天然ってよく言われちゃうの。
うざ。
Again, if she wasn't introduced the way that she was introduced, I think she's actually fucking adorable. As a character, anyway. But she's part nerdy, part... Yeah, I'll say.
てめえにわしは止められねえよ。
てかなんでババア学校来てんだよ。
ああ、なんでてめえに指図されなきゃならねえんだよ。
てめえはうちに負けたからだよ。
ちょっとだ、クソだらやってやんよ。
Technically, she did.
そんなことより、ターボババアが妙な女を見つけたって言うんです。その話しませんか？
そうよ。わしがただ学校を散歩しただけだと思うなよ。ちゃんと金玉探してやってんだぜ。
はあ？なんで学校
So why did Ken's balls turn golden once they came off?
てめえはグッバイ。
探してみる価値ありますよ。盲点でしたけど、妖怪じゃなくて人間が拾った可能性もあります。
見た目は綺麗な金の玉だ。誰が拾っても不思議じゃねえ。ただ人間が拾った場合、人によっては霊力が覚醒して霊が見えるようになったりする。
Yes, but it's only when they're holding on to it, though, is the
霊も
thing.
こっちを見てるってことだ。襲われる危険があるぜ。
やばいじゃん。それ早く言ってくんない？誰だよ妙な女って。
名前がわからん。
Pink hair, the school uniform.
紹介してやるよ。
綾瀬桃、あいつがどのくらいの力を持っているのか。
Stop playing with your balls in
ロザ
class.
リオと晴天だけで奴を倒せるの？それに奴には使い魔がいる。二人同時に相手できるのか？近づいてきてる。赤いワンピースの女が。
I mean, it's creepy. It's literally horror movie stuff.
探しに行くよ。ババは？バックにいます。
綾瀬桃さん、 ちょっと話があるの。二人だけで。
は？何？忙しいんだけど。
すぐ済むからお願いします。
I mean, that would be the perfect time for Turbo Granny to pop out of the backpack and say that's her.
なんか感づかれたか。後々めんどくさそうだし、言っとくか。
オカルン、先探しといて。
え？
後から行くわ。
はい。参ったな。自分一人で
To be fair, I think Ayase can take her on.
あいつだ。
Oh, now she says it. Because Ayase can suppress Ken's power. And all she has is a fraction of Ken's power. Oh, this is bullshit. I mean, this is bullshit from the friend's point of view because they're just jumping somebody. Yeah, I mean, what power does it give her? I hope by the end of the episode she doesn't swallow it or something. Again, it's like, it doesn't seem to give her any power other than awakening her powers.
やっと手に入れたアイダが私を見えるようになるまでずっと待ってたんだよ。
I don't know what the hell that means.
お母さんですよ。
Oh. She literally just in the path of her waving bye to her mom. And the spirit just like... I mean, it's only a fraction of Turbo Granny's power, so... This is pretty fucking hilarious. I do love the stuff that they do with the powers in the show.
やっと会えたね、アイダ。10年以上待ったわ。アイダが私を見てくれるのを。
お前、綾瀬桃の使い魔じゃないの？
お前じゃねえだろ、ボケ。お母さんだろがい。どんだけ私が愛してると思ってんだ。あの時、お母さんって言ってくれたじゃない。嬉しかったわ。
Did she see a spirit back then? Or did she talk to a person who then died?
もう一度呼んでおちょうだい。お母さんってお呼びなさい。
おいクソババア、オカルン返せよ。人間を襲うのルール違反。
I thought she would have cut her restraints on one of those broken pieces of stuff.
ちょっと綾瀬桃、こいつ一体何なの？もしかしてこの悪魔と対立してるの？だとしたらここは協力してこの悪魔を倒さない？
何言ってんだてめえは。
あぶねえ。野郎のおかずになるとこだぜ。
Alright, in the backpack.
ありゃアクロバティックサラサラだな。
ちょっとそれムーコのスマホじゃない？何パクって検索してんだよ。
Oh, I was concerned that something happened to Muko.
妖怪のくせにあいつのこと知らないの？
三下のルーキーは眼中にねえのよ。
私は選ばれた人間なの。美少女すぎるからね。あんたみたいな化け物を倒すの。
アイラちゃん、今なんて。
Legitimately, your one chance of being safe was to shut the fuck up.
てめえいい加減にしやがれ。何バクバク食ってんだよ。
あなたのせいよ。あなたがアイラをそそのかしておつっぱりにしたんでしょうが、私のこと化け物だなんてそんなこと言う子じ
I
ゃ
mean,
な
I'm
い。
assuming everyone's just gonna explode from his stomach eventually.
早く手立て外して。
あ、これ無理だわ。
ちょっと協力してよ。オカルン食べられちゃったんだよ。うち一人じゃやばいって。
わしの力を取り上げたのはてめえらだろ。わしは何もできねえぜ。
そんなこと。
とりあえず
I mean, here's the
って
thing.
みよっか。
What we've set up all for
あなたのせい
already,
なんだから。
I have faith in these characters. I feel like she's gonna get out of this, or Okarun's gonna explode from her stomach.
私のアクロバット
Ken. Sorry, I gotta call him. No, I'm trying to call him Okarun.
を巻き込んでお吹き飛ばす。
The sumo guy hit harder than that. Come on.
これはアイラのお特権だけど、そこまで言いたいなら言っていいわ。お母さんって言ってみて。そしたら許してあげる。ほら。聞こえないわよ。
You know, probably not the greatest thing to try and get people to say stuff while choking them out.
言えっつってんだよクソが。お母さんって言え。この
クソ野郎。
私の子供はどこ？
おいおい、食われてんじゃねえか。こら三下、今ならまだ許してやるからよ。飲み込んだガキ返せ。
何あんた。
I mean, is it gonna be something that the spirits in this world are also sympathetic? The same way Turbo Granny was like looking after the area where people died. She's looking for her child.
招き猫ってのはよ、何かいいことを招いてくれる能力らしい。てめえ、モモと一緒に噛み食ってるぜ。
何よこれ。髪が燃える。体の中も燃えるわ。何をしやがったのよクソ猫。
あの女が持ってたロザリオな。ありゃライターだ。モモはそのライターでてめえの髪に
Oh,
変化させ
I
た。
thought Arya may have had a good thought.
燃やせるもんがねえ。
No, it was still Ayase.
てめえは自分の髪を食った偶然な。その偶然はよ、わしがいることによって必然になる。
綾瀬さん無茶しすぎですって。はあ？オカルン真っ先に食われてたくせに。
Also, you know, Ken's been set on fire before, multiple times.
反撃開始だ。クソだら。
Oh, a two-parter. You know, the thing about this show is it's so good that I hardly ever tell the time is passing. Like, I know that sounds weird. In fact, I think I've used that description for other bad shows that we've watched before, which is that the more a show drags on, the longer it can seem to last. That's not what I meant. What I meant to say is that it's always one thing to the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, that I feel like we haven't even entered into a story yet, but just like in the moment. Time flies when you're having fun. That's what I'm leaning on to here. I'm hoping what's happening here is that we're using this oh god, I forgot what Turbo Granny called her. The Red Lady. I hope we're using the Red Lady to indicate that spirits have not a humanizing effect, but something else going on, right? That she's looking for her child in the same way that Turbo Granny was looking after the lost spirits of mangled, tortured girls. that there's something greater going on. It's just not that the spirit world is out to kill you, sort of thing. You know, also, what seems to be going on there, the element that we're helping spirits to be released. But it does feel like Arya wasn't spiritually awakened before, so she wasn't talking to another spirit. And obviously it wasn't that jokey thing that I was talking about before, that she was like waving hi and the spirit was just like walking through the middle of like, that girl's talking to me. That this is an element of a living person who was suffering, and this innocent child approached them and talked to them. And that is like the last good thing that happened to them, and that's what they hung on to as a spirit. I feel like that's what's going on here, and that there's going to be the same way that the Turbo Granny arc ended with this whole, release of this is what's actually happened to those people. That there's going to be something like that here with the Red Lady. What I do not know is what's going to become of Arya after this. Is she going to maintain her spiritual awakening without the ball? Is she going to actually awaken some sort of power that's going to allow her to help in this scenario? Because if... I think I've said this a number of times for 2 shows that we're watching now, Magia Record and this one, that there's an element of what feels like Bleach at play. Which is to say, Arya kind of feels like one of our side characters in Bleach would be. Like, you have Ichigo, and you have, God, what's his name? Arrow Guy, as our like main 2 guys are dealing with stuff. And then you have like Chad and Orihime, until they get their own specific arcs. Is she going to be like our Orihime or our Chad in the show? Or is she going to be her own thing with her own equivalent power set? Or is she just going to be background comedy relief? Because again, I'm not good on her for having friends that are so willing to be your friend and go along with even your crazy shit that they're going to jump somebody in a warehouse for you. But at the same time, bad on those friends for being willing to jump somebody in a warehouse for you. Because I think when it was coming up, what I was going to say was there's the element of, hey, this girl is like supernatural, and going and grabbing a cross and a holy book makes a little bit of sense. And it's like, oh, wait, other people can't see that. And then that's when they introduced the element of she got the ball, so she could see the wings. Actually, I guess that implies that her spiritual awakening came. No, never mind. Order of events. I was gonna say it came before she found the ball, but it's indicated she found the ball the previous day, because when she gets hit over the head, that is the day after the train thing. So never mind. It's only because she's holding the ball that she saw anything. And that's why I was making the joke earlier that I hope she doesn't swallow the ball, because the implication is that she's going to maintain being a character in the show with some sort of ability to see the supernatural shit, that she would have to hold on to the ball at all times and be like, give us the ball. No, I'm not giving you the ball. Ball, swallow, that sort of thing, right? So where I thought that was going. But, I am not a good writer, and this show seems to be well beyond my capability of imagination. So I'm guessing that's not going to happen. Either way, like every episode before it, very enjoyable. I can see why this was getting lauded all over the internet. I think specifically when I was like on the anime Reddit to see what people were rewatching, and this was getting its own side thing, and I was like, oh, okay, that looks weird. Did not investigate. Apparently to my detriment. This is a really good show. Really enjoying. So until next time, though, I think that's it for now. I have been Theta, this has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?